Well, welcome everybody to our Monday night meeting place, and thank you for your patience as we had a little bit of a glitch on the link for Zoom and the passcode, but we think we have it corrected, and Paul has posted it in the chat. So if you have somebody that's trying to get on, please send them that or copy and paste it from there, and we'll get this call rolling. So thanks everybody once again for your patience, and it's my pleasure to welcome our trainer tonight. While she's on the road on her vacation, she's traveling. She's been in Vegas and traveling around over on the West Coast or Vegas area. So very, very grateful that she's taken the time to stay in our rotation of trainers. And Lisa Seto is also our regular presenter on our Tuesday night information and opportunity call. So we're grateful that Lisa's here. Now, Lisa's background, she has been in the network marketing industry for 30 plus years. She's built a number of seven-figure businesses, and she was obviously shown the patches by a friend and had a great experience on the patches and thought, wow, what an incredible technology. What a product that has fits everybody that has a brain, that's breathing and has a brain. We have a product that will help. She's been a great leader in a number of other companies. I met Lisa in Orlando later this past year, and we struck up a friendship and said, hey, let's collaborate. Let's do some things together and let's help everybody together. So I learned a lot from Lisa. She's fun. She's been with my co-host Paul Austin in Dallas. We've had some fun together in Dallas. And so without further ado, it really is my pleasure and honor to introduce our trainer tonight, Lisa Seto. Take it away, Lisa.
Oh, thanks so much, Terry. And it's just, I love, oh, honey, I'm on a Zoom. Oh.
There must be witches in the air tonight or something.
Hang on a second. Sorry, geez. Oh, gosh.
Was he walking around in the nude or something? What's going on?
Yeah, we're going out for dinner. He's changing. It was on a Zoom. Oh, my
Hey,
gosh. Okay.
This is real life.
This is real life. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so priceless. Okay,
awesome.
wow, what a day. Okay, so you know what? I just wanted to share that it was a year ago this month that I first learned about Super Patch when you mentioned that. And I was here for the month of May in Palm Desert. And that's when my friend Kelly Hiltz, Cowboy Kelly, many of you have met him at the conferences. And he introduced me to this company. And at the time I wasn't looking. And a lot of times, many of us aren't looking, but we have a friend that we know, like, and trust. And they, share a little bit about why they're excited about something. And so that's what happened. And I decided to, get involved and share it with a few others. And it's just been an amazing ride. And I have to say that also, one of the reasons why I decided to share this topic with Terry yesterday, because he said, what would you like to speak about? And I said, well, you know what, based on, and let me preface it by saying, I've been training for a lot of years and a lot of weekly, calls, just like Terry and Paul host as well. And people say, Lisa, how do you come up with a lot of these topics? Like, how do you know what to train on? Well, it's just, if you're actually in the business and you're working it and you're connecting with people, you always have things to, share with other people. Would you agree? Right? Because this business, it's weird calling it a business because it's like a day in the life of whatever you're doing. And I believe that you should make it as fun and as exciting as possible. And so I was approached on the weekend on Facebook Messenger by, some gal that had friended me last week. And I, accepted her friendship. And I made it a decision a long time ago that, as an entrepreneur, we look at everything that's offered to us. And I don't think we should close any doors, just look at everything. And what that has done is that's created a lot of friendships, over the years and connections. And what particularly with this girl, she was fabulous in sharing what she was about. And it was funny because she shared her opportunity, and it was an opportunity that I joined and said yes to when I was 21 years old. It was my first network marketing company in 1991. And so she shared a video, and I was watching this video, and I thought, wow, but I thought also, because based on what I've learned over the years, is, what, she's a dynamic personality. And she shared with me a boring video that didn't really highlight who she was. It was a company video, and it was showing me about, they've been around for this long or whatever. And I can appreciate that. And I'm not dinging that at all, or negating that at all. But she was such a bright light. And so what happened with her is she's from Manitoba. In fact, she's from Brandon, Manitoba. And I shared with her after that I'm from Dauphin, Manitoba. And so we had kind of a connection. Who out there knows where Dauphin, Manitoba is? I know Byron does. Yeah, a few people. Exactly. So I was born and raised there. And after I graduated, I moved to Winnipeg for 6 years, and then I ended up in Vancouver, British Columbia. And so when she shared that with me, I thought, wow, she was able to leave nursing in 2021. No, actually middle of 2020, when the whole chaos started. And she decided to leave because she, basically said it was becoming a gong show. And she decided to go into her opportunity full time. And I thought, wow, good for her. And so she was able to, cover that. So she covered her income as a nurse, and she was able to retire her husband through this business, through this industry, through this profession that we're all in. And I go back and say she's such a bright light. And, I just met her, and I thought, this is someone that I want to continue to get to know. And I look around here too, and all of you too bring that same thing. You bring back, you have a background, right? Sometimes we set out to do a certain thing when we're younger, and then as the years go by, we have different jobs, we have different careers, we're involved in different businesses, raise families, all of that. So we bring history to the table. And so we bring content, we bring conversation to each other. And so this is not about like, okay, I meet this person, what's your rank? Right? This has nothing to do about that. It's like, okay, this person I just met, I don't even care what rank they are, and neither should you, because that shouldn't matter. It's about the connection, right? And so throughout the years, I've been involved with a number of companies, and some of them have been 6-7 years, and I've learned a lot through that, met a lot of people. Whereas today I can pick up the phone and I can have a conversation with many of them, even though that the companies, we're no longer part of. Some of them are still with that company. I've moved on, and we still have those connections. So my point in sharing what I wanted to tonight is that we all have something that is, critical, and that is you, ourselves, our light. And so with her sharing that video, I want to say, stay away from the generic. Stay away from the generic, because her video was very generic. But we did connect, because I did share that I was with that company in 1991. That was my first company. Excellent products, and probably still has excellent products. And so we're going to continue to be connected, even though that I'm no longer part of that company for that many years. But in having those incredible conversations and being approached, whether it's on Facebook Messenger or if it's, in a supermarket, etc., many of us think that we have to have our recruiting hat on, or, have that pitch ready. And we don't have to have that pitch ready. Get to know people, listen to them. They're going to tell you everything that, that is important in their lives. And, I used to love this, because when I was training and presenting for companies over the years, I did it so much that when I met people, and whether it was for lunch or breakfast or for dinner, or just, on the street or a concert or whatever, I would just like to listen, because I did so much talking in my career. And it was, in training, and it was like, oh, so refreshing to get to know people and have them talk about what their background was. And so that's what I'm going to invite you to do, is to listen to them. And then you're going to learn everything that you can about them. And then you're going to be able to, once you ask them questions, they're going to ask you, what is it that you do? And granted, some people are going to be so caught up in what they're talking about, because a lot of people just love to talk. Would you agree? That sometimes it might not be on the first interaction, but they're eventually going to ask you what it is that you do. And then you could share with them what it is. And it's not necessarily about sharing a generic video or sending them your website. That doesn't tell, if you send someone your website, does that tell them anything about you and how interesting you are? People are going to, and sometimes there's going to be people that you're going to connect with, and sometimes there's going to be people that you simply do not connect with. And you're going to find out, and which is a good thing, because you don't want to spend time with some people, right? Some people you click with and connect with, some people you simply don't, but you get to find that out, right? So, and other people will move on, and that's it. But one thing I've learned also is that in listening and talking with other people and connecting in social environments, those relationships, I learn how much people limit themselves. They put themselves in a box, and it could be for whatever it is. It's like, okay, anything it could be. It could be about how they choose to, whether they are vegan, whether they are carnivore diet, whether they've tried either, both, or whatever. But sometimes people are like this, with the horse that wears the blinders. It's like that. This is my life. This is it. This is just the only way that is out there. And you learn a lot about people, right? But then sometimes you can bring a new perspective to them and share. And then you find out also, okay, if they're closed or if they're open. Is that important when you're connecting with people? Yes, right? Because it's going to make your job a lot easier, okay? When you're wanting to progress in a business like Super Patch, when you're wanting to grow your circle and your team with Super Patch, right? And I like, sometimes we call it business, but I don't like to call it business. I like to call it like, this is my fun time, because building this should be fun. At the beginning, I was busy setting up my desk, making it look nice, like I did at my work, when I worked at Great West Life Assurance Company and in Osborne Village in Winnipeg. This business isn't like that. Nowadays, we build it from the beach, or we build it from traveling. We can tune in anywhere, just like I'm doing right now, all of you, right? Isn't that beautiful? And we've been able to do that over the last few decades. People are just catching on to that now, just after what we've had happen in the last 4 years. So does that make us connecting a lot easier? Yes, most people are familiar with Zoom or any other platform that they can do that. So it's very, very important. But listening to others and how they describe their life, and guess what? Through their thoughts and their words, they prescribe their future. Would you agree? This is what I mean by limiting ourselves in the way that we talk, in the way that we think. You can tell when someone is open or if they're closed. And this is also important, that when we're sharing Super Patch too, when they ask you what it is that you do, what do you do? Do you send them a link? Do you send them a video? When I first got started, I shared that one lady that was going up and down the stairs. I shared it with everybody that I knew. Lisa St. Dennis, she remembers, right? Oh, and you know how I shared it? I didn't have a copy of it. I just went with my phone and I filmed it. And then it was less than a minute. It was 51 seconds. And I just shared it. And that's why we brought in my first 15, 16 people. It's through that one video, because people were in awe with that video. So if people are, oh, hang on a second, hang on. Okay, it's 5:30. Okay, so people are visual. People are visual. And so guess what? When they see that, it's like, okay, that's going through the first approach or the first encounter. And then they're going to want to learn a little bit more, because are we really good at offering solutions for pain, stress, and sleep? Big time, right? And then knowing what our patches can do, we can also offer to people, like during when Terry and I do the opportunity calls. I say, with a focus patch, do you know anybody who's an accountant or needs that focus, right? So many of you do know people that do bookkeeping, and are accountants. So guess what? You can offer to them. Anybody that requires some type of focus, just by asking questions, you'll determine which you can offer to people. And then even better if you can have them sample it. And we call this also the envelope business, where we can send these patches to people at a very low cost. Who's done that in the past? Right? Send samples of patches, right? So you could do that, or we make it so affordable at Super Patch where they can try it and we have a 30-day money back guarantee, right? Okay, so listening to people, we all have different backgrounds, careers, and histories. Again, I'm just going to say, never burn any bridges, because there's going to be times when you're going to want to approach people for Super Patch, but then they're going to probably have their approach for you with maybe their company or something else, or they might not even, be listening or paying attention, but you never burn any bridges. If they're wanting to share something with you, just say, sure, share it. And I had someone that it was about 3 weeks ago, that had wanted to share some type of medical device with me, some type of equipment. And, I've been approached 3 times with that same type of, product offering. And so I said, you know what, send me the information, because I might be doing something down the road with social media where that product might come in and fit in perfect. It might not be now. Right now, I've got my plate full of projects, but send it to me. And guess what? They appreciate it. And you never know what could happen, right? But they're going to remember you and they're going to follow up. And then you're going to have them in your Facebook Messenger or wherever, which way that they had connected with you. And you could touch back with them later. And based on what they shared, you could say, hey, do you know anybody that could require or use some help with sleep or focus? Or do you know of anybody that's having issues with balance, right? Balance issues affect longevity of life, right? That's important. Do you know anybody that could use some help there? In fact, being here for the last 5 days, I was at this antique shop, and it's called Victoria's Attic. It's just down the street here. And you know what? This place is, I don't know if any of you have been here. This place is incredible because they share so many different types of antiques. It's like a secondhand store. And they have people that bring their stuff in, and then we bought a vase there last year. It was beautiful. It still is beautiful. We find such great things here. And the proceeds go to veterans, right? In the United States of America. And so we went there again, and I happened to see this lady that was walking by. Okay, her name's Sharon with 2 R's. And she said, you know what? She goes, I see so much here. There's so many glasses, there's so many vases, things like that. And guess what? She said, I've got these Depression style or Depression era vases. And do many of you know what that is? Depression era vases, like, right? Okay, blue or green or whatever, right? In my family, we had them too. And she goes, my husband wants to toss out everything. I don't want them to be, thrown it in the garbage and crashed, wherever, in which corner in the garage. And I said, well, yeah, you don't want to sell it? Why don't you put it on Facebook Marketplace? She goes, I'm not on the computer. I'm not connected. And I said, oh, well, I'm going to be meeting with a few people that we know here. And she goes, I don't even want to care to sell them. If they want it, they can come and pick it up. I said, well, that's fantastic. But then somehow she proceeded to tell me that she's got like 3 neighbors in the last year that have passed away, whether it's cancer or stroke or something like that. And she told me that she also had a accident where she stepped on a curb and then she fell backwards, hit her head, started to hemorrhage. And so now her right eye, there's pools of blood behind her eye that she has to get a shot that costs $2,600 every month now for the rest of her life. Conversations you have about who knows what it's going to be with who, right? So anyways, I took her number down, and yeah, okay. All right, okay. So sorry about that. So what has happened is I took her number down, and she doesn't have email, so I got her phone number, and I had said, guess what? You know what? I'll meet somebody that can come and pick up those vases. But when I do touch base with her, guess what I'm going to do? Am I going to offer the Liberty patches and the focus patches and the pain patches? Absolutely. Did I do it at the first meeting? No, I didn't. So you never know who you're going to meet and have these connections with, right? Okay, so lastly, I'll just say the most important relationship is with yourself, because living your life now and where you want to be, rather like, so that right there is something that's huge. And this is something that we can change in any aspect of our life. If some of you know who Louise Hay is, do you remember who Louise Hay is? Hay House? She goes back, she's done work with Wayne Dyer, things like that. She literally changed the way that her penmanship and everything when she was in her mid 70s. So there's aspects of her life that we can change. So what I'm wanting to share is, if there's something that's in your life right now, we seem to think that this is where I'm at, this is where, you know, I'm destined to be for the rest of my life. No, you could change any aspect of that right here and right now. So my point is that feel where you want to be, make those changes with yourself. If some other people don't want to come along with you, that's fine. But if they're going to support some of those changes that you make, that is really big too, because that will affect also what you do with your projects like Super Patch, what you do in your personal life with your health, things like that. So anyways, it's kind of a short share. There's a lot more to go over, but every day of your life, every week of your life, whether you're traveling or not, you're going to have encounters with people. These are all opportunities that you have to, you know, introduce Super Patch if you wish, or gain a longtime friend or, you know, connection, right? No matter where it is, online or if it's in person. And I'm just going to say, it might seem irrelevant or small. They are huge. There's people that we've connected with in the past with those little, encounters that have, you know, become friends that we've been with 10 years, 20 years, and it all ends up somewhere good.
Yeah, it's fantastic, Lisa. I mean, I'm a firm believer what you said of never burn a bridge. I mean, we get way more with honey than we do with vinegar, and I think that no matter what, I've always believed that, you know, our paths may not be connected on this journey today or this month or this year, but our paths could connect on another journey down the road. So I think it's very, very important that the connections that we make, whether they join us in this business or not, that we leave them in a good stead. We leave them with a smile on their face. We leave them sort of like a good taste, so that there's a certain degree of trust that's created, so that down the road, as you said, that somebody has shared other things with you and you're open to take a look, and not just to amuse them. Who knows where life will take us at times. And so I think those positive aspects of doing the best you can to create a friendship that may, you know, grow over time. And it may not be in this particular business, but a friendship is worth a lot of money in my mind. Anyways, it's not always about business. It's a friendship, and I think it's very important that we all understand that people want to do business eventually with people they know, like, and trust. And so that's a big part of the relationship. So
Yeah.
fantastic. So,
It's very, you know what, because where we all are at, like if everyone is looking at Team Patchination for the training or for, you know, the information and, you know, all the sharing and everything like that, those are the platforms that we have to be aware of, that there's going to be other people that will approach us, you know, with whatever they're offering. And it's not to burn those bridges or to cut them off or to just, you know, whatever, like, oh, I'm not interested. Hear them out. It could be a friend, you know, that you might have, you know, a lot in common, and it could, you know, be, you know, really enriching for on both parts for a lot of years. And you know, that's definitely what I found, and I just think that's an aspect that nobody really talks about.
Yeah, and I think it's building those relationships is key to any good business relationship, whether it's here in the Super Patch. And I'll give you a prime example. I mean, I met Paul Austin 20 plus years ago, and I went to call on him. He had a magazine, and I wanted to print his magazine. But it wasn't that I was going to print his magazine and wanted to print it, you know, on his next edition. What I wanted to do is meet the guy, get to know who the owner of this mag was, and give him a viable alternative in case anything went wrong with his current supplier. And so I just said to him, I want to be the first guy you think about when you know you may have a problem, because life is not always a bowl of cherries and things change. And so, but the true success that, and I'm sure Paul will agree with this, our success was not the business that we did together. Both our paths have changed, but here we are again together. And it's why? Because of our friendship. And to me, that relationship, that connection that we made 20 some odd years ago, allowed us to continue to do projects together and to host calls like this and work together in Super Patch. And so the true success to me has always been the friendships we create. And I know it sounds kind of corny, but to me, that's what I believe, and that's truly the way I feel. So I think this topic of connections and the importance of making that connection, and not about getting somebody, but truly making that connection and listening is key. So thank you so much, Lisa. Powerful talk for sure. And I once again want to apologize to everybody that was on this call for the screw up on the links. I don't know how it happened, but I'm sure I'll figure out. It might have been my own error. I'm not sure. But if it is, I apologize. And I apologize anyways that everybody had to jump on. And I thank everybody for their patience and understanding. So again, tomorrow night, we have our opportunity call at 8 p.m., our North American opportunity call, which is hosted again by Lisa Seto, or presented by Lisa Seto, hosted and co-hosted by myself and Paul Austin. And so I hope that you can leverage that call and invite guests on. We have a great slide deck. It's a very, very powerful information and opportunity call, and we invite you to use that to leverage to new people that want to take a look at our technology. Any closing statements, Paul?
Yeah, I just want to say great job, Lisa, and it's 100% relationship based. I mean, I have people on Facebook that I've just kept in touch with, didn't really know them. You know, you build that kind of, audience over time, just those who, are interested in what you're about, or maybe you're funny, maybe you do certain things, maybe you post recipes, whatever it is, but it all comes back eventually. Maybe somebody refers you to somebody. Maybe it's not for them, but maybe it's for somebody that they know. So if you immediately shut them down, you just shut down their network of people. So no, I agree wholly. I also wanted to mention, just so that everybody knows, anyone in the Toronto and surrounding area, every week we're doing meetings. The first one is this Wednesday. Jay will be at every meeting. He will do the intro, the whole, first part of it. It's from 7 to 9 on Wednesday nights every single week. So stay tuned and just start the invites to that. If you guys can't be present, send your people. We will take care of them for you, regardless if they're linked to us or not. We don't care. Let's just fill the room and get as many people in there as possible. We think that's going to be great. Now, I'm waiting right now. This meeting could be a double meeting night. I'm not sure what's happening there. I know for now it's just Wednesday. I was also going to start. I just wanted to point out that there is no UK Europe call tomorrow moving forward. The support just wasn't there. There was like 11 people on the call, 14, 16. It's just not sustainable. It has to have people on it. So what we were probably going to do is do a double header. So a Tuesday night, Thursday night, same call, North America. But I just didn't want to overlap or start something when I don't know if Jay is going to do a double header in Toronto Wednesday, Thursday nights, is what I heard. So then that's in-person meetings, which is, you can't get better. So if you know anyone, reach out to them. We'll make sure they're taken care of. They get a sample, they get the demo, all that stuff. So yeah, so I had a little bit to say there at the end.
That's great. And just to answer a couple of questions, Paul, the room right now will hold 60 people. So we're going to start with 60. We can open up the room. It's at the Holiday Inn on Britannia Road. The post is in our Team Patchination page, the flyer for it. So These calls unfortunately will not be live streamed. Okay, unfortunately, it's not to say that that's the way it's going to be forever. But there's a little bit more to it than just saying live stream. We have to hire somebody to do that as well, or somebody actually has to go live on their phone or something like that and film it. So for the first little bit weekly, we're putting these together so that you can leverage these and bring your guests and actually hear it firsthand and be able to meet the CEO and inventor as well. So that's always a bonus. So anyways, I won't keep you all any longer. I appreciate everybody. I'm just going to stop the recording.